Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back through daily crypto news and analysis. Today we are going to be live streaming. So I do live streams here and there, for the most part, because the reasoning behind that is because I want to keep you guys updated in real time as well, but also give you guys the videos if you guys were not able to make it to the live stream. But it is also a lot easier to give you guys this quick update for for an example, Hedera Hashgraph. So with that being said, I hope that you all have been enjoying the live streams lately. I do plan on doing them a lot more. And guys, I am extremely bullish right now. You guys have no idea how exciting it is to really see the price action playing out perfectly on Hedera Hashgraph. I've been giving you guys some warning signs all day yesterday and even today. And guys, we finally have the moment here that we have been waiting for a very long time. So with that being said, let's actually really jump into it and let's really address the overall market before I do give you guys a quick update on what I've been doing as well. So overall, the market is up about 0.52%. Nothing too crazy, right? Everything's been sitting stable for the most part. For an example, we're still at around that $2 trillion market cap zone. So really, nothing has changed in that aspect. So overall, nothing too crazy. Still looking fairly stable. We do see Ethereum kind of reaching for that 3.4K zone, which is fairly good to see. Now, overall, what I'm really concerned about in terms of Hbar is just the next target point. I have told you guys for a very long time, Hbar has been building up the strength for the next major move, and we finally are seeing that. We are sitting at around 38 cents. We are up 28.23%. That is fluctuating here and there, but for the most part, we are up significantly. And in my opinion, I think that we are closing the gap in on the next major move. So, with that being said, prepare your exit strategies now because we are closing in on the end of the bull run, most likely by the end of November into December, somewhere around there. The November to January timeframe is fairly strong, as I do think that we are still following the 4-year cycle. Now, with that being said as well, I just want to warn you guys right now, if you guys want to know my exit strategy, if you guys want to know where I'm personally exiting, you guys are not obligated to purchase this at all. I'm just going to give you guys that insight right now. I don't really like to monetize too much stuff, but this is actually fairly in-depth, and it is an updated exit strategy. I just launched my website, NCashOfficial.com. I have my Hbar and also my XRP exit strategies on here for $5 a piece. I fairly priced it overall in terms of how much I actually, put into these. So if you guys do want to get that, you guys can. Like I said, you're not obligated to. You could also follow my exit strategy from the past videos as well, and it's fairly similar, but these are just updated in terms of what the market is showing me in signs. So with that being said, let's actually jump into it. Let's talk about what's happening. So we have cleaned up the charts. So I know that it was getting very crowded in terms of the lines on the chart and all that stuff. I fully updated it. Now we have a very clean chart. Now, overall, the next target for Hbar is obviously some resistance points. The resistance points, in my opinion, are around that 39-cent zone. It's mostly about 40. We could actually kind of move this up to about 40 cents overall. I want to see us break over this, most likely by around the end of the weekend. That would be fairly nice. Again, it all depends on if Bitcoin is really going to range. Now, I would say around the 39-cent zone is where we just topped out a little bit and hit some resistance. So I would argue the fact that this is actually the better line and actually goes even back to March 31st. So I do think that this is actually a fairly good zone in order for us to actually clear and get to that next major price move. Now, from here, we could obviously see, there is some resistance at about 41 as well, which is the next major resistance point. But I think that we move through these fairly quick, and I think that we're going to go to all-time highs plus by the end of next week at least. So Again, following my same structure plan, nothing's really changed. I think that we are going to have a massive September into October. I think that September is pretty much lagging a little bit, though. I don't think it's going to be monumental or anything like that. But the moment that we've been waiting for is the next major move to get into this massive demand zone, even going back to pre-pump zones. We have been moving significantly with volume inflowing almost every single day. We actually see the volume is nearly sitting at about 800 million, which is almost 100% of what I said about, I think it was like yesterday or the day before yesterday, but I said that the volume is going to be picking up very soon, as the charts were telling us, and we finally see that, right? So now, in my opinion, I think that we are only moments away. All right, and I think it goes in the span of, whatever close is going to happen tomorrow for us is going to be the next major validation point for what is in store for Hedera. But we have broken out of the 37-cent zone. We have held it fairly strong. I think a close over 37 cents would put us in line with 40 cents being broken and actually holding. And I think that will be our next major support zone to actually hold it. Now, in regards to that, I'm also watching the Hbar Bitcoin chart closely. So as you guys actually see, we broke above the May 1st high. If we even go back to where we were in terms of May 1st, we weren't at any significant level. This was our pump on May 1st, right? Now, even in regards to this, so this was May 1st. Here is all through this entire time, we were just going upward. But May 1st was that next major breaking point, and this is on the 1 month span. So technically speaking, this monthly candle here, and we could actually go to the monthly on here so it's a little bit easier for you guys to see. If we go back to that May 1st, this was that breakout event that I told you guys, and I warned a lot of people about this that kept saying that Hedera's overall price action sucks. I was trying to tell you guys that we were on the cusp of a major retest of the all-time high to break out of it and go into price discovery long before, Bitcoin pretty much started to drop in price. Now, if we look here, even on the Bitcoin chart, we see that we were making our way to retest the high going back to March 1st, which wasn't a crazy significant pump at all. But I'm just telling you guys, this is clear to me that we go much higher. Now, yes, we did retest that high going back to March 1st. So we do need to break that in order to have the next major push up. But as you guys are seeing, us retesting that Bitcoin level is telling us that we are going to retest this level from May 1st eventually. Now that could happen, it could happen tonight, it could happen tomorrow, it could happen just this week coming up. But I am warning you guys right now, everything that I have been saying for the last, I don't even know, 6 months, 7 months now, is coming to fruition with Hbar. Volume is picking up. We are seeing major updates. We do have that announcement coming this week. We are at these, new levels now of 38 cents plus. We are pretty much over. I mean, if you guys have been watching my videos for a fairly long time, you are in some solid profit points, because even if you bought the dip in June, right, you are now up. If we go to the top of this candle, almost 200%. If you go to the current price, it's about 180%. So overall, if you bought the dip, that is incredible. You are up significantly. I'm up significantly. It is very exciting to see, but I do think that we go much higher very soon. And I was even comparing this chart to Solana and a lot of altcoins like ALGO as well. It's printing the same candle. So we are eventually going to have that next major breaking point very soon. And I think even the Bitcoin chart tells us that, which I've been telling you guys for a very long time. This is the chart to watch for right now. I was giving you guys some mobile updates as I wasn't in the lab yesterday or last night. But we are pretty much there. I mean, honestly speaking, we are pretty much in the moment of time for us to either, one, break out like crazy or break below 37 cents again and have to retest it. But from what I'm seeing, let's go to the daily chart. It looks very strong. Yeah, we hit some resistance. I think that is the resistance that we really need to break to get the next major move up to retest, a level up there, maybe a resistance point at, 41, or even up here at around 43 to retest this high. Now, I'm just going to tell you right now, I think we break over this high here, which I understand that there's another high back to the 29th, but I think if we break out of this level, I think it will continue to go up, because this line has been very significant on this channel. For anybody who has been, a long time watcher of my channel, you should all know why this is a very significant line here, because I've told you guys multiple times that this was our price discovery candle. This was going to be the candle where we finally broke out of the all-time high, went into price discovery, and ranged to those next major targets of $1 plus. This was that candle, and Bitcoin, as you guys already know from the recent patterns, has always broken down when Hbar tried to pump. And now we are seeing the validation point of us actually moving up. On the 1 hour span, I could actually just show you guys on the 1 hour span, we've been riding this nice wave up. And I do think that this will continue. We might have slight pullbacks here and there. As long as something like this doesn't happen, where we break down, I'm totally fine with us kind of ranging higher and higher, having slight pullbacks here and there. But eventually, I think that we are breaking 40 cents, and I think that that will happen actually today as well. Honestly, there is no reason for me not to be very bullish on Hbar right now, because the price action has been fairly solid. We've had slight pullbacks, and honestly, even going back to the whole Bitcoin chart, right? So I've been telling you guys about Bitcoin. I think that we are still very well in a major bull run. I think that Bitcoin does need to pull back a little bit more. We could see it, pull back down to 44K, maybe even retest 42K, and eventually get down and retest the 100-day close at around 39.7K, almost 39.8K. And the reason for that, and I know a lot of people are going to get sketched out by that, they're going to say, well, isn't that going to ruin Hbar? I don't think it will. And the reason for that being is because Bitcoin dominance has actually been ranging lower and in a bearish continuum cycle. And I think that this is going to come down and retest my bottom level down here at 39.66%. I think a lot more money is actually flowing out of Bitcoin into other altcoins, like, for example, even Ethereum, because we do see Ethereum dominance. Now, I know that this is on the monthly span, because I want to show you guys right now what's actually happening, right? So in regards to Hbar, we know that Hbar is an altcoin, so we know that it does range with Bitcoin. But I think what's happening with Ethereum right now is a lot more money is actually going throughout the market into altcoins, into Ethereum. I've always said, and I continue to always say, that a lot of the Bitcoin price action shows signs of weakness. I think Bitcoin is losing its dominancy factor more and more every single day that we range throughout this market. And even the past patterns show that. Even when I was going back to 2017, 2018, even going back to 2013 and 2014, right? The pumps have always been significantly lower. Like, for an example, let me actually get rid of some of these lines here. So this was a 572% of a pump from the September low to the 2017, 2018 high. And I want to say right now, in regards to the Bitstamp chart, going back to 2013 and 2014, we do see that this line back here, and I could actually just kind of get rid of some of these lines here. So this was a 1,292% of a pump from the September low to the high of basically December, November almost. So we do see that it's tapering off in terms of percentages. That's why when a lot of people are saying, well, I think that we could see $200,000 plus this bull run, I don't think that we see that. And I honestly don't even think that we see 100K, to be completely honest with you guys. And I know a lot of people are going to say, well, you should be hoping for 100K at least if you want, these nice price targets. But it's not the idea of waiting for 200K. It's the idea that there's going to be a lot more money flowing throughout this market in terms of institutional money. And do you honestly expect them to buy a lot more Bitcoin than most altcoins when we are seeing a lot of news coming out in regards to institutional money buying more altcoins than Bitcoin itself? Bitcoin, in my opinion, I think it had its heyday throughout the entire market. And I think that it's going to range into the point where this is no longer a Bitcoin market. And I think that happens by 2022, going into 2025. That's where we will see the utility market shine. That's where we will see utility tokens like even Hbar ranging to major highs of like $50 to $100. And I truly mean that. It's not the idea of, saying hopium or anything like that, but it's the idea that when we look at what Hbar is actually doing in terms of comparing it to Ethereum, comparing it to ADA, Solana, whatever the case may be, Hbar is one of the most undervalued gems in this space. And I think that this is just the beginning of what's to come. And even in regards to what Ethereum is doing right now, Bitcoin and all of the other altcoins, it looks like the market is ready for a much higher continuum of price action. That is why whenever somebody is saying, hey, we are in a bear market, I just kind of laugh and I kind of just like, just ignore it, to be honest, because I don't like to start anything. But I'm just going to tell you right now, this entire market looks like it is following the 4-year cycle, even going back to Bitcoin. Like Bitcoin's price action right now, even the chart looks very similar to 2013, 2014, even 2017 and 2018. If you guys were here during this time, you'd understand that everybody was pretty much bearish throughout September, and then all of a sudden October came, and it was pretty much like the second half of October where the price action really led to a major jump in price. And I still think that we get to those higher price targets of like $85,000 to $95,000 on Bitcoin. And at that point in time, I think this entire market is going to look extremely different. We got to really think about the idea that there is going to be a lot more money flowing through this market. So we will see Hbar at new highs. And, where those highs actually lead to, who knows? I could see 3 to 6 being the major conservative price targets with, obviously $10 to $15, which are my main target points this bull run being targeted as well. Now, of course, if we don't see $10, I'm totally fine with that. If you guys, like I said, want to know my exit strategy, I'm already going to be exited a lot of my position before $10 actually gets hit. But again, Hbar is my #1 holding for a reason. It is the most utilized DLT technology out there. It is the greenest technology. It's the fastest. It is the most secure. When we look at what Hbar is actually doing, we have a lot more updates along the path. Even quarter four is going to be absolutely massive for us. So I love to see this price action playing out currently right now, because this allows for us to have even better price action when, for an example, sharding is released. We also see, CEX listings being built up. Who knows what is happening on the 16th? They're saying that it is a special announcement. Could be a GC member, could be, a listing on a major exchange like Coinbase or something. Who knows what is actually going to be happening? So in that regard, I think that the price action is very strong. In regards to the overall market right now, I'm going to be watching the dollar very closely as we kind of range here in this nice bearish continuum. I think that the dollar is going to drop more and more in price. I think that this will allow risk assets like crypto to really influx in price and allow us to have that major bull run that we've all been waiting for. So with that being said, I think the entire market looks very bullish for more and more higher prices. It's just going to take a little bit more time. Like I said, I think Bitcoin is still ranging in that nice, if we go back to Coinbase, I think that it's ranging in that nice little zone from even the past cycles in terms of the 4-year cycle. I think that we have about roughly a little bit more time, nothing too crazy, most likely September 27th, like I said, marked on the chart here. So around September 27th, I think we could expect Bitcoin to be back on track with 84 days of just uphill battles. And that's pretty much where we will see the topping out point, somewhere around, the end of December, pretty much around that time period. So I'm going to obviously be watching the market overall during this entire time. I'm going to keep a close eye out on it and keep you guys updated along the way. If I'm going to be honest with you guys, if I see any, sort of tapering off, or if I see the market kind of getting a little bit weak, I will obviously tell you guys that, and I'll tell you when I exit a little bit of my positions and stuff like that, or execute something, in terms of selling. So with that being said, we look very bullish. Keep a close eye out on this level on the Bitcoin pair. I'm going to tell you guys that right now. For anybody who wants to see major fireworks, this is what we need to break. This. And I know that I said this level, and this level was very key. Now we are holding above 37 cents. So now this is the next level to retest for us to go even higher. And in terms of the USD pair, I'm just waiting to see this level broke and hold now. So we have that nice price action that we've been waiting for, guys. The Bitcoin chart looks very bullish. We are ranging to go much, much higher. So with that being said, like I said, if you guys want to go grab my personal exit strategy for Hbar or XRP, they are $5 on my website right now. It is officially launched. I do appreciate anybody who does purchase these. Again, these aren't for, you know, everybody to have to jump on them or buy them or anything like that. You don't need to. Trust me, you guys could have your own exit strategy. Just be comfortable with your exit plan and also take into accountability where you entered in and where I entered in, for an example. So, you know, with that being said, thank you all for stopping by. I do greatly appreciate it. For anybody who does want more free content, you guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. Thank you all for stopping by. I do greatly appreciate it, like I said. So I hope you all have a beautiful day or a beautiful night wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. This has been Nick.